Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well. And I know for those of you that watch my stuff or are subscribed to me are probably shocked that I am uploading a video in under 6 months from when I just put out my last one. But, you know, part of my New Year's resolution, if you want to call it, is to get back into the swing of things with these videos and to continue to do so. And I have a lot of things planned already moving forward, not just with Mendocino County, but working on one right now involving an agency in Sonoma County. So gonna be doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Got a couple other interviews lined up as well. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be more consistent. And I know I've said it in the past, but yeah, anyway, going forward. So I brought up this case in one of my prior videos. I don't remember exactly which one it was. And at the time it was just a rumor. And I know that there's some people out there in my prior videos that said like, oh, Trent just likes to address rumors and none of it's true. And it's like, okay, well, obviously that's not the case because pretty much everything I've said in prior videos has actually, you know, been true. And we've seen that in court cases and other victims coming forward and you know, some of these cops getting fired and criminal cases, civil cases put against them and these sorts of things. So with this one, it was a rumor at the time. I barely addressed it. And because I don't like doing videos on rumors, I wanted to wait to address this until I had more facts of the case or actual facts of the case. Now, the rumors were very consistent though. And I was hearing them from a lot of different people and they were pretty much along the same lines for what I'm going to discuss here. But I got final confirmation that this is what happened. So that's why I'm able to do this video now. So this is involving a guy that I just addressed in my last 3 videos, the 3-part series that I did with Amanda Carley and her daughter, Maddie, involving a domestic violence case. And this person I'm going to be talking about today is the same guy. So his name is Noble Weidlich. He was at the time, for this case that I'm going to be talking about, a chief of police with the Ukiah Police Department, which is in Mendocino County in Northern California. And he was the suspect in my last 3 videos for the domestic violence case, which he lost a civil suit against his ex and her daughter because he was obviously guilty and he had to pay out for that. So for this one, this case is interesting. So this incident occurred June 13th of last year, so 2022. Now, the facts of this case, this is what happened. So I don't have every single little detail. I don't have. There's a couple things that I'm gonna have to leave out. Like I'm not gonna obviously say the victim's name. She's a potential victim of sexual abuse, sexual assault, and I don't want to put that out there for obvious reasons. So I'm not going to do that. And then a couple other things in the incident itself that I don't have full 120% details of what was said exactly or what was done exactly. However, I have enough information to be able to give it to you guys, and that's what I'm going to do. And the main reason for this video is this case for the last 6+ months has been like the most top secret classified thing I have ever seen in Mendocino County or involving law enforcement or whatever. And it's interesting because this case is very basic. It's nothing like it's horrible, like it's not good, but at the same time, it is a very basic case. And the reason for the secrecy, you know, there's more to it, right? So, and that's the whole, that gets into what I've been preaching through most of my videos is the insane lack of transparency with all of these entities in Mendocino County. You know, the DA's office, Mendocino County Sheriff's Office, Willits Police Department, Ukiah Police Department, all of these places that stick up for each other, try to sweep things under the rug because they're all buddies. It's a small rural community. A lot of these guys grew up together. They've been friends forever. They play softball together and all that stupid shit. So they try to get away with a lot of things. And it seems like the only way that anything ever gets done is if it gets addressed publicly, the public, like you guys, get involved. And we saw that with the Kevin Murray case, who used to be a sergeant with the Willits Police Department and also buddies with Noble Weidlich, the guy that I'm going to be talking about today, with his recent case where, guess what? He was guilty of, sexual assault and false imprisonment and those sorts of things. And you had people in the public sticking up for him. And obviously he was guilty of that. And he just got an insane deal. And I've already done videos on this guy with the DA's office there. And, you know, for obvious reasons. So this incident, getting kind of off track here, but I just want to address some of these things. So this incident, June 13th of last year, Noble Weidlich, Ukiah Police Chief at the time, drove over to this woman's house in Mendocino County on duty, so on company time, in a patrol vehicle, in full uniform with his gun, the badge, all that stuff, right? So he goes over to her house, and he had some sort of relationship with this woman prior. And I don't mean sexual relationship, dating relationship, anything like that. Again, this guy is currently married with kids. But from what it sounds like to me is they knew each other prior and they were potentially friends. And it sounds like this woman who is not does not have a criminal record, is not a transient or a drug addict or anything like that. And some cops out there are going to want to try to use that as an excuse to discredit her. However, sorry to tell you guys, none of those things are applicable to this person. And it sounds like she's really close to the law enforcement community. She's established in Mendocino County, knows a lot of people. You know, the rumor is she, knows Dave Eister, Tom Allman as well, the prior sheriff, and Dave Eister is the DA of Mendocino County, and Tom Allman, like I just said, the prior sheriff. So she's been around for a while. Sounds like she knows a lot of these people in the law enforcement community there. So what happened was Noble Weidlich on that day, June 13th, went over in full uniform on company time to her residence. And she was home alone, and he went over there. This I do not have 100% detail on. So he went over to pick something up from her house. I don't know if she was letting him borrow something or whatever the case was. He went over to her house to retrieve something. So she's like, yeah, come on over. So he goes over, knocks on the door. She allows him inside, and she gives him whatever this thing is. It's not really important. And she, assumes at that point that he's going to leave. Like I said, he's in full uniform. He is working. The whole point of him coming over was to get whatever this thing was. So she gives it to him, and then he closes the door behind him, and he kind of stands in front of the doorway, so she's not able to leave her own house even if she wanted to. And he's not a small guy, so he's standing there, in full uniform with his gun on his hip, and he is police chief at the time, like I said. So I don't have this verbatim. However, it was said along these lines that hey, I didn't come all this way for nothing, or this is it. This is all I get for coming over here, kind of a thing, insinuating he wants more. And what ended up happening is at some point in time, he pulled out his penis, and he grabbed the back of her head and forced her to give him oral sex. Now I want to pause kind of right there and say, I don't have any proof that this actually occurred in a forceful manner, right? I was not there. I don't have any video footage of this or whatever. These are the allegations per the case. These are the facts of the case, you guys. I'm not saying he 100% forced himself on this woman or not. I'm just saying this is what's being alleged. Okay, so throwing that out there. So after he did that, he left. And when he left, he sent her a text message along the lines of, wow, that was really weird, or that was awkward, or something like that, insinuating that wasn't a normal thing. And he could tell that she was not, fully willing to engage in that act. So she immediately, same day, called Tom Allman, the prior sheriff, and informed him of this incident. He called Matt Kendall, the sheriff of the Mendocino County Sheriff's Office, because it was in their jurisdiction. And, I believe she resides in the county. And he notified Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, an outside agency, to conduct the investigation on this case due to obvious potential biases within that county, because everyone there knows each other. Like I said, there's a lot of crooked dealings that go on there as well. And since I've been doing my YouTube videos, I've noticed that Matt Kendall with the Sheriff's Office tries to offload everything that involves any local cops to any other agency that he can, so that he doesn't get jammed up on previous stuff that I've addressed, right? So he did that, and they contacted this victim, and she provided her phone to the investigators at Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, said, hey, this is what happened. This is my phone. You can look at all of our text messages between Noble and I, the police chief, and there's nothing flirtatious there. There's nothing sexual in nature ever. And even if she's deleted messages, you guys, they have the ability to dump the phone's data and pull up deleted messages, deleted emails. Your stuff doesn't go away just because you deleted it. So there's stuff on there regardless of if it's gone or not. So what it sounds like is there was nothing insinuating hey, come over and we're going to hook up or anything like that. It was legit, more of a friendship. That's what I'm guessing here. And, it was understood. The understanding was you're going to come over, pick up whatever this is. And who knows, maybe that was done on Noble's part to kind of get her to maybe engage in some sort of sexual act with him. Like, hey, do you have something, like, you know, whatever this is that I can come over and grab from you? And then he was just going to kind of go into it from there. So she gave them her phone, checked all the messages, checked the message that he sent to her, like, oh, hey, that was weird, or that was awkward. And then they called him in and interviewed him. And he lied initially and said, you know, none of this happened. So I'm sorry, guys, if I'm looking down, it's because I'm referencing my notes. So he said nothing happened. And then they kind of gave him a ruse, like, hey, we're going to have your DNA, obviously, you know, from swabbing her mouth. And, you know, we know that you were there. And he ended up admitting to it. He said, okay, you got me. I was there. She did perform oral sex on me. However, it was consensual. It was not forced. There was nothing forced about it. So I believe they took his phone as well. For that. And then 4 days later, so he was never arrested, you guys. Like, that was bad information. That was another rumor that was going on, which is why I didn't want to put out this video, because there was just too many damn rumors. So he did not get arrested. However, he was fired by the city of Ukiah 4 days later on June 17th. And it was for a violation of policy. So the investigation was still occurring. However, they said he violated policy by going over on company time. And he had admitted to, you know, getting oral sex from this woman in uniform, on duty, and all that stuff. So it, you know, and Ukiah Police Department refused at the time, or still, to provide any information on the details of the case. And at the time, it's understandable because it's still under investigation for a potential criminal act, right? So they didn't say anything. They just said, like, he's just fired for a policy violation. We're just not going to deal with it. And so Sonoma County Sheriff's Office began continued the investigation, and which shouldn't have taken nearly as long as it did. They had this thing for months. And at one point in time, they had released a statement stating that they were going to provide the information details of the case when it was concluded. So they concluded it, and they lied, and they said that, you know, okay, we said we were going to provide the details, but now we're not. We're kicking it to Dave Eister at the Mendocino County District Attorney's Office now, because this alleged crime occurred in Mendocino County in their jurisdiction. So they gave it back to Dave Eister, or the DA's office there. And he sent it to the Attorney General's office to have them review for potential prosecution due to potential. Like I said, everything's biased there in Mendocino County, so he wanted to remove himself from that. And it sounds like there's more to the story too on why that was done, and I'm going to get into that in a second. Gave it to them. Mike Janella, who used to be the public informations officer for the Mendocino County District Attorney's Office, worked, you know, with Dave Eister and stuff like that. Beginning in 2011, he worked there for a number of years as the public information officer, and then left on his own, you know, recognizance. He quit or whatever, or retired, whatever the case is. He had contacted the Attorney General's office, and they stated, like, hey, this is a confirmed sexual assault case, and there's no bias here or issues that we can see why we should have to deal with this. So we're going to send it back to Dave Eister at the Mendocino County District Attorney's Office, and he can deal with his own mess. So that's what's happened. And it's been over 6 months, and it sounds like the victim is wanting to seek criminal prosecution, and it's been stated that Dave Eister has assured her that he's going to do so. However, it's been over 6 months for a basic forced oral copulation case. There's been no court proceedings. There's been no arraignment, no preliminary hearing, nothing like that. The interesting thing with this case is how secret it has been this entire time. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's come forward with this information. Kim Kemp with Redheaded Black Belt did an article on this case as well. And she pretty much stated the exact same thing that Mike Janella had put out there. Like, hey, this is a sexual assault case. But in terms of the details, it's never been disclosed. I do know for a fact that during this investigation and even after it, guys that were involved in it at Sonoma County Sheriff's Office and in Mendocino County were threatened with their jobs. Like, you will be fired if you talk about this case to anybody. So it was like the most secret thing ever. And it's very interesting hearing this case now and how basic it is. Again, it's not a good situation. It's a horrible situation, right? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, the case in and of itself is something that we've seen a million times. Kevin Murray's stuff, the prior sergeant with Ukiah Police Department, his stuff wasn't secret. His whole case, multiple victims, all sexual assault cases, all put out there into the public immediately. That firefighter in Mendocino County with his sexual case as well, put out there for everybody to read. And everybody else, nobody has been afforded this type of secrecy before for a case like this. Now, after Sonoma County lied and said they were going to release the info and gave it back to the district attorney's office in Mendocino County, they refuse to put out any information on it. Now they were saying this whole time, like, oh, now we can't do it to protect the identity of the victim or to protect the victim. We can't disclose any information on this case. And it's like, my whole thing's always been like this. One, you're not protecting the victim. You are potentially endangering the victim and other people in the public by keeping it a top secret that Noble Weidlich is a potential sexual predator, and he forced, potentially, allegedly, this woman to perform oral sex on him. So you are doing her a great disservice. That, and we don't need to know her identity. What does her identity have to do with anything? Her name does not give us any, it doesn't do anything for us unless she's like habitually called in cops multiple times saying that they sexually assaulted her. And obviously, you know, she's potentially full of shit or whatever the case is, but that's not the case here. That is not the case. So there's way more to this. So protecting her identity has nothing to do with anything. Look, I just told you guys that story, the facts of the case, the incident. And do we need to know her name? No, we do not need to know her name. So why was that information not able to be to put out into the public? Why was a press release not done? And these sorts of things. And so this part is a rumor, and I don't have proof of this part. And I state that in all of my videos, and I still get these idiots on here that are like, oh, all you do is talk about rumors. Okay, so, or like, oh, you just make shit up. No, this part is a rumor. I don't have a proof of it, but the rumor is that this woman has some sort of relationship with Dave Eister, with the district attorney. I don't know what that is. And I don't know if it's a friendship, if it was a relationship in the past, or whatever the case is. And there's some potential issue there because of that fact. Also, she obviously knows Tom Allman, but they could just be friends. A lot of people know Tom Allman, right? So I don't know, but it sounds like some more things and some rumors, like, you know, Noble and Kevin Murray. The reason why Kevin Murray got that deal that he did is because he has something on the district attorney. Also Noble, same thing. So those are rumors, and I don't have the reason for that. What I do know is that this thing was top secret. I've had people asking me about it for months, and I just found out finally, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just rumors. And like, why is this so secret? Why is this like the biggest secret in Mendocino County history since it was founded in 1850? And it's just like a sexual assault case. The other thing that was bullshit is that everything that was placed into any article prior to this, any press release or anything done on this case, prior to Kim Kemp and Mike Janella stating this, it was always just an assault. That was it. The Noble Weidlich, police chief of Ukiah Police Department, has been alleged of committing an assault against a female. And it's like, they worded that like that on purpose, okay? It's not an assault, because then you had people in the public thinking like, okay, did Noble commit domestic violence again? It sounds like he potentially pushed a female or he punched her, because that's what goes into your mind, right? They purposely left out the word sexual until it was, until the attorney general finally stated it. And then Kim Kemp was able at that point to state that without getting in trouble, and also with Mike Janella as well. But we've known that this whole time, but that was done intentionally as well. So the fact is, guys, like I said, I don't know this woman. I don't know if I wasn't there. Like I said, these are just the allegations of the case. And we're going to find out what happens in court. However, you have these other cops in Mendocino County that refuse still to this day to believe that any cop in that county can be bad. There are a lot of good cops there. I will always say that. I have still friends with a few, but there are good cops there that are honest. However, the ones that I've talked about already, it's been proven over this last year since I've been doing YouTube that these guys are shitbags, and they get caught up in these criminal cases and they get fired or whatever the case is. And so we're going to see what happens. I'm not saying that it was forced, even though he did admit to it occurring. And I feel like the public needs to know that this sort of stuff goes on. That's the whole reason I do these videos. There's still the lack of transparency here, clearly, right? Because you guys are paying like taxes to the city of Ukiah when the police chief is going over to some girl's house on duty that's not his wife and performing in sexual activities, right? So that's part of the reason for this video, is to let you guys know what's going on, because like I told you guys a long time ago, that's the main goal here, is to let you guys know what's going on in that county, and not just that county, because like I said, I'm going to move on to other stuff, but with law enforcement in general, and how some of these guys are still receiving a privilege that nobody else gets. I mean, look at Matt Kendall with the sheriff's office and his lieutenant, JD Comer, where they had the child pornography at his house that people said I was lying about, that we proved that it was true. You know, that didn't get addressed publicly until I did a video on it. And then they were I had forced their hand at that point for them to come out and finally say something, and it ended up being his son, which, whatever, I don't want to get into that, but I'm just saying, like, stuff gets swept under the rug there, and that's what I don't want to have happen with this, because there's still cops there that are saying, like, this is still a case, this current case with Noble and this woman, a case of he said, she said. That's the other thing that's been floating around. It doesn't sound like it's a he said, she said. It sounds like there's actual potential evidence here with DNA, as well as the text message that he sent after he left, you know, basically admitting to the fact that that was not consensual. You would, like, why would you say that to a girl you just left her house if it was consensual? You wouldn't say, like, oh, that was weird or that was awkward. And the fact that their relationship, it seems like prior to that, was nothing sexual in nature whatsoever. No flirting, no nothing like that. The fact that she reported it day of, right after it occurred, to Tom Allman. These are all things that are indicative of it being true, it being a forced situation. But again, I can't say that for a fact until, you know, innocent until proven guilty. This is just something that, like I said, I wanted to present to you guys. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much it for this case. I got some other stuff coming up. Like I said, that I'm going to do another review, interview, and something else for another department in Sonoma County, some potential cover-ups down there as well. So anyone out here that's watching this video, if you or somebody you know, like, has some, that's what I'm gonna try to focus on now, since I like doing these sorts of interviews, like the 3 I just did with Amanda Carley. If you didn't check those out, feel free to do so. It's the last 3 videos I just did involving this guy I'm talking about right now. If you or somebody else you know has some stuff like going on that you want addressed publicly, hit me up and let me know. We can discuss it. If it's legit and not rumors, you got some sort of proof that this is occurring, I'd be more than happy to address it publicly. And that's kind of gonna be my focus a little bit going forward with these things, because I've said everything I had to say really about stuff that I experienced. So I kind of want to give other people a voice to come out and say whatever they want to say regarding, you know, law enforcement or district attorney's office, or in whatever county, whatever state it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exclusive to where I'm from. So feel free to do that. I've already had some people do that, which is why I'm having these additional videos that I'm going to be doing in the future. So the best way to get a hold of me, I don't have Facebook anymore. Couldn't stand it. So if you have Instagram, I'm going to link my thing down below, but it's just Trent James, all one thing. You can just direct message me. The problem with that is I get, you know, like probably Derek Hendry faking a fake Instagram and like acting like he's an attractive female trying to get info from me. So I see right through that. You know, if you guys are doing that, it's incredibly obvious. It's happened a couple times. So, but yeah, if you have something legit you want to discuss with me or get advice or whatever, I'm more than happy to do so. And yep, that's going to be it for today's video. And we're going to see what happens with this case. Hopefully, you know, you know, like Dave Eister, like I said, he's supposedly going to prosecute this criminally, and I don't understand why it's been over half a year and nothing has got done at this point. So hopefully the more public involvement, like a lot of you guys went down to protest the Kevin Murray thing at the Ukiah courthouse, and that the DA last minute, remember, they went in there and they said, oh no, we want Kevin Murray to go to prison now, acting like they were going to do something, like they actually cared this time. And then of course the judge said no. They had already offered him this deal, sweetheart deal of like 2 years of probation, and that's it. But it seems like the only way anything ever gets done in Mendocino County is if you guys know about it and you guys get involved. So again, that's the whole point of this. I don't know Noble personally. I never worked for the Ukiah Police Department. I have no personal beef against him or this lady. I don't know any of them. As usual, I state facts of a case and give you guys the information, leave it up to y'all to decide, and you know, we can see, like I said, what happens in court going forward. So that'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, if you stayed through the whole thing, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.